Hi all, welcome to this Game Week 391 review in 392. So as you can see for 391 we obviously fell short horribly with 240, bit of a disaster with Quignon making an error, John Gallagher having a disaster with Austin, and Dubison just sadly not performing. I didn't expect, I should have probably went Brandon by in the 240 in the end, especially if I'm playing quite well just now, but sometimes that's just the way it falls. But other teams for 220, MLS Amateur just obviously not firing just with how things went, and especially when Boxall got sent off and obviously J League and that weren't playing, so we were kind of like one of those game weeks where we were really kind of not struggling but just lack of options to kind of work with for that game week. Obviously for live this week, we have 240, 220 and 270. 270 obviously we would have liked to have fielded a starting goalie, but sadly not. Challenger Europe and also into kind of like the academy team as it were. I'm a bit annoyed that I probably should have put the academy boys into All-Star technically, but I'm a bit baffled that Hibs are covered next week but they're not this week, and it's kind of a bit of a shortfall I suppose, but we've made sure to at least try and field all the Hibs, as many Hibs players as we can, get the XP up and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, we're definitely needing to sort out an under 23 goalie sharpish to kind of sort out the Hibs players that are in that bracket that we think will be playing sooner than later. But 240, obviously Dubison's covered for Basel's Conference League game, and then obviously the same with the League Cups. 220, we initially tried to go quite bold, but in the end, obviously like Boxall's not playing, I just threw him an all-star, but we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping like 270 we've had to just try and go like players that we think might play, might not play. Like Polster didn't play last game week, which scuppered us a little bit, but suppose we will see what happens in due course, because obviously there's a lot more. There's 36 matches, I'm covered for 12, and as I said, what I find funny is that they've added a whole pile of new games in this morning. They weren't here last night when we were doing the predictions on stream, so it's a little bit annoying because obviously it's meant we're suddenly having to then do more. We couldn't do the predictions because the first game is a 7 o'clock. First one's 7 o'clock, isn't it? Yes. 7 o'clock tonight is the first game, so they could have left it to 3 o'clock, so I don't know why they've left it 11 o'clock cut off for the deadline. Like if they knew like 7 o'clock was the first game, like just put it to 3 o'clock. Gives people time to, like for people like myself, I could have then done all these extra games that are in for predictions for Sorare data, but sadly I can't, that's just the way it goes. So yeah, that's that challenge. 393, we've already put in our second division Europe squad because obviously we're not covered for second Bundesliga, but we start to see a bit more of what we would require, but obviously we're still a little bit threadbare because Chinese Super League's covered, Superliga in Denmark's, Croatian League, Austrian Bundesliga, then obviously second Bundesliga, then covered by Belgium for their games starting up, then over to Argentina, Peru, Chile, Russian Premier League still, Norway, and also Swiss League, Brazil, a little bit of MLS when it gets down there, Colombian League, more League Cup, that's what it was, sorry. Because obviously some teams get a game week break, so that's where we're scuppered by no McMath, for example, for 240. So it's then we've got to then try and be quick with what we require or hope to require, because at the moment our goalie shortlist is still up in the air a little bit because we were of the mindset of Lawal, we were in the mindset of Al-Tube, we were in the mindset of Shrutel, Pandur, so we're kind of up in the air. So at the moment, Lawal's 29, cheapest is 32.50. People actually paying this though? That is the question. Like the last 5 sales would give me an indicator. Yeah, 31, 32. Yeah, so folk are buying them regardless now. Yeah, I think that ship maybe has sailed. Pity. Never mind. Never mind. We will have to think hard about this. Mikola Kukarevich, 173 is his cheapest. Interesting how that's played out. Person, like if he does get his, like 146 yesterday, we got him for 115. Like Al-Tube, if I was to actually quickly check Al-Tube, what's it saying for him? 8 quid. Yeah, 867. I might have to have a look at this person's account. Bisagio. Like the thing is, well, the gallery is not for sale. But yeah, nice try. Nadal, still up in the air with Tenerife what their situation is. Like we are hoping, what's his cheapest now? 347, 361. Yeah, I might chance my mitt with Olympian, see what we can sort out. Maybe a potential deal there. But Yanez, like Vikun's went up like about 4 quid now. He's pushing up nicely. Somebody paid 460 a day ago, so not too shabby there. But at the moment we are generally feel like we're settled. Like as we've said throughout, I would say EFL we're still needing a bit more extra depth, just to kind of like would like a goalie, just to cover that area within like competition, so that way at least we've got an actual squad of 5 playing. Like I can make it happen, it's just how we make it work. Borja Signs, I'm quite excited about how he performs, and also he fits in the under 23 bracket. Like when we go to competition eligibility, under 23s we have 12 cards in all. We've got Kukarevich who covers for the forwards. Like the way to look at, we have 2 starting forwards if Mikola does come back to Hibs this week. Borja Signs and Tito potentially is 2 start. Tito's maybe more a rotational mid. Like Campbell could start as well, but Borja Signs would be our main under 23 mid. Under 23 defenders, Will Fish would probably be our main one. Lewis Miller hopefully is fit to start and play and gives us that kind of option. And like Inui, Henderson, like Rocky may play, but like personally I think it'll be Fish and Hanlon, but Riley's certainly encouraging in his own rights. So like all that, as I say, that still comes back to the argument of which goalie we look at, whether it be Al-Tube, but obviously I've been told like 50-50, 40, anywhere from 40% to 50% really seems to be the numbers spouting out there. Like Moser's no further forward by the looks of it, so that's that ship sailed. I think he's even cheaper now. I think no, he's not. He's actually went back up. So basically, the one that was up yesterday for 8 quid, we should have nabbed. Yeah, 808. Yeah. Never mind. We try. Like I assume he will be number 2, but if he was to suddenly start the first game of the season, then I'm not worried. It's more I'm a little bit annoyed that he is suddenly starting when you thought he wasn't. Just reviewing collections, we are obviously not far away from 250 score for Tenerife and Avispa. They'll be achieved very shortly. through people achieving like their 90-day holds. Like we could technically go and get it through buying Gerardo, Alonso, but I'm not really stressing out to buy them personally. When, if I'm right in thinking, is it Melo would be the closest to us? 27, yeah, he's about 60 days. I'll have a think. If I really badly need the 10%, I will, the extra 1%, then I'll make it happen. But I'm not gonna like stress out for it. Like Avispa's same situation. It's just a couple of their players are not far away from actually achieving what's needed. Like Growley would have had it by now if I hadn't traded. Like he'd be, well, it's quite obviously when we got him the first time and loaned them out. Same with Shun Nakamura. So they're basically there. Probably by the time the break comes in, we'll have the 3% and we're sorted. Like I would never get 4 or 5% unless I was buying everyone at auction, but that's harder said than done. Hibs, obviously, that's about September, October before we can even officially hit like the 250. Like the 90 days, sorry, is what I'm meaning. So like yeah, 50 days or so. Like there's no rush. Like we still like to get Cadden and Doyle Hayes, but people are still kind of demanding a bit too much. Like Cadden's not going to, as far as I'm led to believe, Cadden's not going to even play this season. If I go to cards on sale, cheapest is £1, and it is Ruv, so I might have to see how we make that happen. I might even just offer Miramon and just see how much I've got to add on top. We might just do that live now. Let's do that live. Add Miramon. I don't mind. That's probably the last player I'd want to offload. And we'll see what it says. Live bit of buying. Like for Ruv to have it's a rare like Ruv and Naldame, I haven't really had them. And I've tried with that Branco because they have offered sweeties for them, but it is what it is. But at the moment we are generally settled with the gallery. Nothing really strenuous that I need to really go for. But yeah, I think as I said, it's EFL and an under 23 is kind of just all would like to just finalise really and work it from there. But let me know, folks, what your thoughts are for 392, what you plan to run with in that, and then also for 393 accordingly, see how it all shapes up from there. And as I said, if you've got any thoughts on where we could maybe consider as well, then let me know as well, be appreciated. So have a good one, folks, take it easy, and I will catch you all later.